Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. My host Rob, and welcome to a late, not only in the day, but also in the week, Age of Sigmar Stat Center. That's right, I'm live here. Oh, I'm not looking there anymore, I'm looking here. I'm live from the Honest Wargamer studio, the TSN Arena, as it's known, and I'm in the Twitch. I'm on the Twitch with the Twitch chat. If you guys watch it back on YouTube or listen to this as a podcast, I want to thank you for doing so. Please do get involved, join Patreon, any of that jazz. Maybe our Discord, I don't know. I'm going to start using it, I guess. That's what the experts do. I was getting worried. Don't worry. Hello, everyone. Whoa, thanks to Splunkin for donating £20 to the show. What the hell was that for, Splunkin? That's super cool of you. What did you say? Love the 3D print episode. Oh, man. Thanks, Splunkin. I set it up yesterday so when people make donations, I can actually read it, so... Fucking go me. Thanks, Plunkin. That's super nice, yeah. That's lovely. Hey, Diffie, what's going on? Thorpian, Gangster Pairs of Dice. What's going on? Hope you're all well. Okay, so I've hacked together. Yeah, no Owen. Owen's so busy this week. So busy, so it's, again, just going to be me. Next Monday, I'm pretty certain we're going to have the actual stats. Ziggy and the stats crew, including Warhammer Rob, have put most, if not all, of the actual stats together. So we'll have our actual stats show. Hey, Quasic, what's going on? And also, Dominic, I see you in the chat. Looking forward to the stream. Good to meet you on Sunday, Rob. Enjoyed watching the game back. I'm glad you did. So stats center. So what we do is we look at event results from Age of Sigmar events that happened this weekend. So this is the weekend just gone. And then we kind of like I'll have a little chat through the stuff. The actual stats will be next week. And I know you're wondering, well, why the hell has it taken so long? Actually, it's a little bit more involved. It's not just like what's this win percentage or meta percentage at this point. We've built it into like a very dynamic system. So hopefully our first Age of Sigmar 3 stat show on Monday should be very good. So do tune in for that. It's going to be really good. And it was missing data previously. That was the main point. Like, we needed to actually get data in, and enough data that we felt comfortable it was useful. Dasmore Wargaming, awesome content weekend. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. I'm excited. I don't know what AOS it really is. Same. All right, let's look at the 2-day events from the weekend. We had quite a few. My information's all over the place, so I'll try and talk it through. First up, let's talk about the team event that we saw at the weekend. Obviously, we did the coverage on the Honest Wargamer, so you guys can go and watch it back. And that was Blood Tithe, our 32 team I keep messing this up. Our 32 teams of 4. And thank you to our tech guy, Chris, for making it all work. Up my angel on the shoulder. That's Chris in the chat. Hello, everyone. All hail Scrivo in the chat, but specifically Chris is the actual tech guy we're talking about. And we saw in first place, so 32 teams, they played over 5 rounds. The tier was Mark Wilson. And we had, in first place, we had the 400 Club, made up of Craig Navmar, Luke Morton, Jack Armstrong, and Fabian Quinn. All players that, if you've been listening to competitive Age of Sigmar at all in England over the past few years, well, not COVID times, but whenever, you'll have heard of all of them, including Fabian, like the new boy in that crew, who ended up helping them push his Gargants around. And they made up of Seraphon, that was run by Luke. That was his 4 blocks of 2 Dracothian Tail Salamanders, Craig Navmar with his Legion of the First Prince, with Kairos Be'lakor, and also a couple of Boom Thirsters. Jack Armstrong with his Lumineth Realm Lords from Sire, which meant he, Sire, but he had the 3 Wind Spirits, that's the really important part, and his 30 Sentinels, and we saw that move blocking so well in that last round. And then Fabian with his 4 Bigs, so his Mega Gargants, and it was... Honestly, at this point, like, there's like 3 people who did really well with Mega Gargants the weekend. It's just 4 bigs. Doesn't matter which fucking 4 bigs it is. It's 4 bigs. Like, could be Taker, whatever. It's 4 bigs. Sometimes it's 2 Gatebreakers. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's 2 Kraken Eaters and a War Stomper. And sometimes it's all 3. And sometimes it's... It doesn't matter. It's just 4 big ones, basically. Thanks, Warrior Lodge Dan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Big Hammer Gitley. You've got it. Watching the show now feels like the YouTube upload. The YouTube thugs will be fine with it. They really will. Um, that was the weekend. They did really, really well. It was quite close between them and the people in second place, which was the Cats of War, who we also saw on stream, and then third place was the Bab Moon Loons, the current Super Series champs, and they put on a good performance as well. A really great event. Looking forward to seeing more team events in the future. I really enjoyed it basically. So it was a good time. It was good. Yeah, four big fellas. So that was Blood Tide Team Championship. So congratulations to the 400 Club. It'd be interesting to see if elements of those guys make it into the English team. Obviously, we've got the Age of Sigmar Six Nations event, and then next year we have AOS Worlds. So that team event kind of process is hotting up, and we'll see how they felt about the pairings and other stuff at some point. Right, into other two-day events. We had the Realm Wars event. Let me just go and double check this information. One second. So this was by WS10 Gaming. So this was held here in England. And in first place, we had Chris Myhill. With his Idoneth Deepkin. But first and in the 5-0 bracket, and then Nick Thompson with his Cities of Sigmar army as well. So Chris Myhill's list, Chris, lovely fella, with his Idoneth Deepkin's got an Eidolon of Mathlan, another Eidolon of Mathlan, one aspect to the sea, one aspect to the storm, an Achillean King, the Soul Scryer, and then 6 Ishling Guard, 2 lots of 3 Ishling Guard, and then 2 Fulminators and some Heart Renders. Now, this is actually quite important because we've seen very, very few 5-0 Idoneth Deepkins. In fact, this might be our first example of Idoneth Deepkin. I think it's really good, but it was a comped event, as Warhammer Rob is saying in the chat, and there were no named characters allowed at this event, so no named characters, so that might have helped a lot. And yeah, double Eidolon. So yeah. That's Hey Gemma B, Grammar Babies. Thank you. Hello, by the way. So he was there at that event. So that's really cool. So well done to Chris. Super happy with a 5-0 for Idoneth Deepkin. Whether or not the comp changed how it worked, not really sure. But there you go. And then Nick Thompson with the other 5-0. Again, no name characters, obviously. So Cities of Sigmar Excelsis list. He had that Rune Lord, which made those 2 units of 20 Iron Drakes, Battle Line, 3 Demigryph, and then another 10 Iron Drakes. Got the Soul Screen Bridge, Cogs, and then the Hurricaneum, the Battle Mage, and the Lord Celestin on Star Drake with the Amulet of Destiny. There's a really good article coming out soon about the art by Colonel Cabbage, coming about the Amulet of Destiny. I'm really excited to do a deep dive on it. He's doing an article. I'm going to make a video. It's going to be really exciting. So congratulations to those guys. Now in the 4-1 bracket, you had Russ Charles with his Sons of Behemoth Taker Tribe. You had Tom Wainwright with his Seraphon, and then also Tom Parry with his Seraphon. Both those 2 players running Thunder Lizard lists. Yeah, Man Who Reads article, and hopefully make it a little bit more fancy than Man Who Reads article, but we'll see. Maybe it won't be. So again, those Seraphon Thunder Lizard lists doing quite well in the 4-1 bracket, which I think is good. It makes sense. They've got the monsters for the bonus points. I think one of the really interesting things that I've taken away from the weekend, if you guys are interested in this, is it's less about scoring. It's about maximizing your battle tactics score. And what I mean by that is that those bonus victory points. So if you're scoring 3 bonus points at the end, thanks to your battle tactics, and you're still playing the primary really well, you're 3 up. So actually, it's the same as achieving another battle tactic or them not achieving a battle tactic, which is why I think we aren't seeing many lists that are shutting down opponents' battle tactics because it's close to impossible. And I think actually what we're seeing is a bunch of players just looking to maximize their score from battle tactics and pick that final point up at the end. So that's pretty exciting. So that was the Realm Wars event by WS10 Gaming. Hammerfest was a huge event over in Houston, Texas. So you have Gavin Gringar, running a DOK list. Now, it was Marathian the Bow Snakes. I've put the link in the chat for you guys. I've written it out. It was Marathian the Bow Snakes, but it's that's fine. There was some Witch Elf bricks as well. I think there was 220 Witch Elf bricks. If you guys are new and you're not sure what I'm talking about, Morathi, the god model, has got a command ability that's able to make the bow snakes shoot twice, once in the hero phase, once in the shooting phase, and then their 24-inch range plus their 8-inch movement gives an effective range of 24 inches in the hero phase, and then, of course, 32 inches in the shooting phase. This is if you don't include something like a melee sight iron scale for run and shoot or something similar. They're very effective. They're very good. It's not overly complicated to play, but we still see a lot of Morathi in the Bow Snakes list not cap 5-0. We see them go like 4-2 generally. Generally, we don't tend to see him do worse than that, but we tend to see him do that good. So congratulations to Gavin. He's got to be over the moon about that. 74 players in Houston. The guys in Texas have started to do this this map conquering thing, which is very, very exciting. So basically, they've divided Texas up into different regions, and the different wargaming clubs are able to take over each other's region, which I think is very exciting. So they go over and play, and they take it. It's so good. Liam Jordan, idiot-proof. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of the top lists are fairly idiot-proof for the minute. I'm going to be honest. But that's okay. That's fine. Now, in the we got a 4-1-1 bracket, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the Stat Center audience. So 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. 4 wins, 1 draw. Not 1 loss, because that wouldn't make any sense. They'd be playing 6 rounds. 4 wins, 1 draw. And that's Chris Schelling with his Sons of Behemoth Breaker Tribe. 4 bigs. Doesn't matter which ones. They're in Breaker Tribe. Doesn't matter. Again, doesn't matter. And then the JTJ. What the hell? I don't know who that is, but the JTJ with his Disciples of Tzeentch host Arcanum list. It had Archeon in, and then it had 3 units of 10 pink horrors. So that's 4 wins, 1 draw. My sister's looking to get AOS. She sold on Morathi and the Bow Snakes. My Hedonites are going to get owned. Wolfen Studios. Hey, Final Flash. Hello, everyone, by the way. But they always seem to build better idiots. Yeah, they do. They do build better idiots. It's true. In the 4-1 bracket, Matt Rubbish with his Daughters of Cain. Morathi and the Bow Snakes again. Jacob Matthias with his Moor Tribes. This was Blood Gullet and a bunch of Stonehorns. Chris Creech with his Soulblight Gravelords in Castelli. Love that, always. Brian Lofton with his Slaves to Darkness. Hosts of the Everchosen, 6th Circle. That's that extra damage on the Tawoon roll, which is really good. I think it's just flat extra damage, actually. Old Man Tim, thanks for subscribing. Justin Gremgar with his Iron Jaws. Andrew Fournier with his Seraphon. Joshua Eccles with his Lumineth Realm Lords. Elijah Ramos with his Seraphon. Jonathan Chizelezes with his OBR. That was definitely wrong. Marco Hernandez with his Big War. And then Jonathan Suarez with his Idneth Deepkin. Another Idneth Deepkin in there is actually genuinely exciting. But look at the variety in that 4-1 bracket, which I think is quite exciting. IDK, Big War, OBR, Seraphon, Lumineth Realm Lords, Seraphon again, ignore that. Iron Jaws, this time not Big War. Slaves to Darkness, Soulblight Gravelords, More Tribes, and DOK. 11 different factions in that 4-1 bracket. Yes, the game is dominated by Bigs and Morathi and the Bow Snakes and Archeon, host the Everchosen. And it would be dominated more by LRL. It would be dominated more by LRL Wind Spirits, but we don't have them at the minute. Hey, Nogo Matthew, what up? I've never seen anyone run Soulblight Gravelords Legion of Blood. Is it just really bad? I love me some Neferata. It's not this bad. It's just that really, Volzen, you got to ask yourself, what does the game currently do and produce? And we have 2 kind of things happening. One, save stacking and hero hammer is so prevalent. The ability to heal them, the heroes, is so useful because of heroic recovery, the action you could do for heroes. And then also save stacking works so well on units that start on a 3-up armor save, and the Soulblight Gravelords book has a load of 3-up armor saves. Blood Knights obviously are a really good example, Venglory Lord, Vampire Lord, Zombie Dragon, Vordry, and Nagash. And so the reason, it's not that I talk a lot about this. I don't fucking care what everyone else talks about. But the one of the things that I talk about a lot is the fact that there's sometimes weak internal parity in a book. So external parity is the thing we look at when we look at the event results and we think, okay, we haven't seen Beasts of Chaos again. I know Liam Jordan's in the chat like, you're going to see it one day, but we haven't seen it. And we haven't seen... there are some armies we don't see. Generally, right? We don't see Greywater Fasteners, Cities of Sigmar armies, for example. So the external parity is obviously off quite a bit, but internal parity is pretty stark in some books. You're never going to see Zangor in a Tzeentch book, for example. It's just that the parity is generally tends to be off. Inside, and so in Soulblight Gravelord's book, which is actually, in my opinion, got one of the widest sets of options. I think you can run dogs and Radikar the Beast and Belladamma. I think there's a version where you run all zombies. There's a version where you run Nagash and Vordry, and you do that kind of wombo combo characters that we saw Leo playing at the weekend. Dan, we do see some KO. We do see some KO, but it's generally the players who we see doing the KO. But you're right, we rarely see KO. It's normally very good players we see with the KO. See you later, Final Flash. Love with you. Sorry for wrecking the timetable today. Nighthaunt. Nighthaunt's a good one. Anyway, so I hope that answers the question. America seems to have more KO players. They just fucking love guns, don't they? Right, so there was another event at Element Games. Element Games? Yeah. Called Aftermath, and it was run by the Purple Sparkly Unicorn crew. You had Ben Johnson win this with his 5-0 Sons of Behemoth list. It was 4 bigs. Then you had Paul Scott with his Munificent Wanderers Nurgle list in the 4-1 bracket. You had Ben Curry with his Daughters of Cain in that 4-1 bracket again. And then I haven't put the names on for the other players, which is a bit of a shame, and I'm sorry about that. I apologise. So we had that as well. So that was in Manchester. Is that where Element Games is? I've been there. I don't remember. It's there. We had the... I fucking hate this country. Please no more AdMech. It's not me. I'm not in charge of it. Thank you for the very in-depth response. I'm happy to help Vols and Riot. And generally inside a battle tome anyway, or a codex, there is an internal parity. There rarely is. There's always something that generally tends to be better. So there you go. Stockport. Thank you, MJ. Love you tons. Right. We had the French Singles Cup happening in Sweet Paris. 31 players. And in first place you had Moot Diver. I don't know what these names are. He was running Sons of Behemoth, and it was Take a Tribe, and it had 4 bigs. Don't care which bigs. It was 4 bigs. It doesn't matter which 4 bigs. You just face roll 4 dudes forward, and you get a 4-1 or a 5-0. Like, it's outrageous. It's outrageous at this bit. My favourite thing probably that happened this weekend is Alex Q from the South London Legion was playing against Fabian Quinn from the Dragon Slayers. But they were playing for different teams. They were playing for 400 Club and Fiction. They were playing for, those are the 2 teams that they're playing for. There was a move where Fabian pulled where he was up against Alex's 2 Maw Crushers. You can go back and watch this obviously on the coverage. His 2 Maw Crushers, and he took his 2 Maw Crushers and kind of deployed them on the left. Then Fabian just clumped all 4 of his Megas together. Hadn't seen it before. And the first time I saw it, I went, I honestly don't know what you ever do. I just don't know what you do. I just don't know what to do with that. I was like, cast Shackles if I can, but other than that, didn't know what to do, and I was like blown away by it. And I was like, when you faced with that, you're not sure what to do. What's saying? I'm going to play Sons of Behemoth. I've always been a Bigs player. Yeah, me too. Anyway, some just on the conversation about bigs, and we'll go back to the French Singles Cup that happened in Paris. Is that battle plans are probably one of those really things that we need to talk about for how to orientate them around. I think they do badly on non-centralized. I was having a good conversation with a friend of the show. I don't know if he wants to mention at this particular point, but someone whose gaming acumen I respect a lot was discussing what you can do against bigs, and actually probably just your battle plans are going to be one of those really key things to change. Any centralized objectives is pretty much theirs because they can dominate and project power from there. They can, because of their movement, they can move from center to right, center to left, center forward, anywhere, and that doesn't include kicking objectives. I would say that 6 objectives or even Star Strike. That's right. Rob is now reaching for the heavens. It's not called Star Strike anymore. It's called Veins of Gur, but I need I need help on that one. So yeah, Vainsager, and maybe that's the right way to kind of approach the bigs. Got to stop them getting there. Yeah, I think maybe that's the problem, because they're also low drops, right? Because they're 4-drop. They're 4-drop generally, because they're generally taking the double artifacts at the moment. Singles in Paris, you make it sound like AOS, not so speed dating. Phase is the world's worst scenario. But we need to stop the dominance of the bigs. Anyway, so well done to Mut Diva, I think that's right, with his Sons of Behemoth. Anchor was in the 4-1 bracket with his Legion of the First Prince. Argyltol with his Daughters of Cain. Saranta with his Cities of Sigmar. Grotin with his Blades of Khorne. Haven't seen them in a 4-1 bracket often, so massive congratulations to him. And then Salcher with his Skaven. And then the Moscow GT in the taking it out. There was no one in the 5-0 bracket, which I thought was pretty fascinating, actually. But Philip Cartier, the legend that is, ended up taking out the event on 4-1 with his Legion of the First Prince. He had Be'lakor, Kairos, Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince with Khorne, and Blue Scribes for that reroll cast on Kairos. Then 3 lots of 10 pink Horrors of Tzeentch and the Emerald Life Swarm. I love this list. Oh, also Spell Portal and Soul Screen Bridge. Love this list. I think it's fantastic. So good. So much dominant board presence in the mid-board. Like, it's very, very strong. Those pink Horrors of Tzeentch, great for holding the primary and achieving those battle tactics where holding objectives is really key. The Slaves to Darkness Khorne Demon Prince is very good, obviously, with that command ability, Bloodslit Ground, making it so you can't charge. Kairos with Gift of Change coming through the spell portal, doing flat 6 mortal wounds through the spell portal, giving him a 37-inch reach to do flat 6 mortal wounds, turn something to spawn, shuts down shooting units really nicely, shuts down movement on other units, or it just snipes out a character. And then Be'lakor with that Dark Mastery ability, just shutting down another unit. Anchor is also in the Grot Gang. Yes, Anchor! Nice! Nice. Just wait for the Legion of the Demon, formerly known as the Prince, yeah. Hooray, some Sentinels just arrived in the post. Gidley. Twitch chat, you're the worst. Twitch chat, you're the worst. There's Gidley there like, got 30 Sentinels now. And someone else is like, yeah, I just bought 4 bigs, Rob. Like, I listen to the show. I'm not here to fuck around. Yeah, I've got 4 bigs. I'm going to face roll forward and have a great time. I love you, Twitch chat. I love you to pieces. Yeah, never change. Never goddamn change. Philip Cartier, this is Philip, who's the head of the Russian Worlds team, and in my opinion, probably one of the better players in the world. He dominates the Russian scene. I'd be very excited. I've got like a couple of like head-to-heads, you know, like Thriller and Manila matches that I want to see. I want to see Bill Souza versus Philip Cartier. That's what I want to see. I want to see Piotr, who was in the Castle War at the weekend from Poland. I think I'd really like to see him up against AOS Tubbs from New Zealand. I think I'd like to see that matchup. There's a bunch of players I'd like to see play some top table Warhammer against each other, and if we should arrange that. I'll buy 10 more Bulgor. That's idiot. That's insane. So that was all of the 2-day events. I don't know if we had our event come in. Warhammer Rob might be able to update me. I don't know if we had our event come in from Colombia, but the first Age of Sigmar event happening in Colombia happened this weekend. I'm not sure. I'm going to get that double checked. I know 4 people who've bought 4 Foxins since I started them. There you go. Yes, it happened this weekend. Do we know who won? So in Colombia, the first 2-day Age of Sigmar event happened ever this weekend. Me and Warhammer Rob have been keeping eyeballs on it. Bespoke AOS head-to-head matches. Rob's flying people around the world. Hey, I want to see it. I want to see it. There's some good Warhammer in those loins, and I want to see them played. So yeah, that was this weekend. I'm not sure what the results were. But maybe I can get that for next week. Let's fly these kits in. Yeah. There we go. Let me just go get the information for you guys. Leaderboard. It was won. So this was the Medhammer AOS GT. Yeah. And it was won by Juan Juan David Mois. He went, wow, there was a lot of 5-0s here. This is, okay. In the 5-0 bracket, no, hold on. Let me try and do the math here. No, there's two. There's two in the 5-0 bracket. One in the 5-0 bracket and two in the 4-1 bracket. So it was Juan David Mois. Won this the very first Colombian GT, and he was running, get ready for it, Soulblight Gravelords. He was running Necromancer, Neferata in Legion of Blood. Was he? Doesn't say it was in Legion of Blood. But a Necromancer, Neferata, a Vampire Lord, and a White King. And then he was running 20 Deadwalker Zombies, 30 Skeletons, another 20 Skeletons, 5 Black Knights, a Corpse Cart, 20 Graveguard, and then 3 Vargeists. That was his list. Oh, snap. Only won 5-0. So this was the only 5-0. Juan David Mois, congratulations. Very impressed by that. In the 4-1 bracket, we had Philippe Garzon. I don't know why I'm putting the inflection on. Don't hate me for putting the inflection on. It's not my fault. In the 4-1 bracket, don't get mad. In the 4-1 bracket, Philippe Garzon was running Ogre Moor Tribes. He had a Frostlord on Stonehorn, another Frostlord on Stonehorn, and a Huskard on Stonehorn. He had 4 Mournfang twice and another 2 Mournfang. And then, finally, Jose Perez in the other 4-1 bracket was running Sylvaneth. That's right. Colombians love a bit of trees, is what this is. And he has got a Lariel, a Branch Wraith, Spirit of Death with the Amulet of Destiny, which is a cool little take, a Warsong Revenant with the Flaming Weapon, of course. And then he had a battle line of 3 units of 5 Tree Revs, and then a unit of Kurnoth Hunters with Greatswords, 3 of them as well. Colombians official. So that's congratulations to everyone at the Medhammer event. This was on Down Under Pairings. They should be super chuffed. They had 16 players at their event, and I think they should just be really, really pleased. Colombia's first event. Stick that on the map. Stick that on the map, ladies and gentlemen. Still wearing my medal from LGT. I'm super happy for you, Bro to Pro. Super happy for you. Why is it 2018 in Colombia? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the first Colombian event DUP as well. There you go. So we've pinned it to the map. We're also covering events from Colombia now. So that's exciting. Now just to fly around the world very quickly in our one-day events. We have the SV Sigmar Slaughter, 18 players in Redwood City, California. Wyatt Pettyjohn won with his Idoneth Deepkin, so this is a 3-round event. And then Christopher Thomas with his LRL Zytrek also went 3-0. Super pleased for them. You had Rivals of Sigmar event, which was 12 players in Bellington, USA. Jeffrey Kawamoto with his Disciples of Zinch Archeon in Host of the Everchosen went 3-0. And then you had the CPBG by Iron Wyvern, which is a 13-player event in Tennessee. Seraphon and KO. Matthew Swinney with his Seraphon and Jason Sanders with his KO. Upcoming events, there's actually tons, and I didn't fill in that section of the show today, so I'll do it properly for Monday. What can I tell you? I'm still a mess from the weekend. Right, that's it. That's all the stats for today. Has anyone got any questions before we go? If Rob flies out for events in Colombia, his heart really will be in trouble. That's true. That's really true. Has anyone got any questions on stats, the meta, or anything they'd like to ask today before we head out? I recognise it's a little bit earlier than normal, but I'd be interested to know what you think, because I'm trying to still unpack stuff at the moment. How to deal with Gargants? I think it's a scenario situation, and the battle plans you pick. I think we might be playing less and less battle plans. I think actually there's a really healthy conversation about, do we do something about that? Do we create our own custom scenarios? And I don't mean special rules, but basically you have a number of objectives and a number of different deployments, and you kind of rotate them around. I think there's something to be said there for that. But Rob, what question do you think had the best win? What question do you think had the best? What question do you think had the best win percentage of Blood Tithe? I'm sorry, Liam, I don't know the question. Um, oh yes. Also, please do if you have your stats, if you have your event results, please do send them in to the Age of Sigmar Stat Center at gmail.com. That's where to send them in. Um, I tabled 4 Gargants in Savage with maggots at the weekend. That was my highlight. Congratulations, Bin Panzered. Any more info about the delay to your dragons? No info about that. Sorry. Specifically because you started a show doing 3D printing. Why not do a show like this, but for narrative events? Yeah, do it. Horizon Lackeys. So like, actually, there aren't many. Like, it's that simple. There aren't a lot of narrative events. It's a bit of a bullshit reply that people give people. People turn up and they're like, oh, if you just want to get started in playing tournaments or playing Warhammer, just go to a narrative event. But there aren't actually that many. Whereas a little one day or a little singles event is such a great way to start playing, in my opinion. So I don't think there's any way to do coverage. One of the things that I would like to set up for Monday, that's something I'm going to research over the weekend, and anyone out there who would like to help me do that, please do get at me or at Twitter, or Twitter probably is the best way, is I'd like to start, as of Monday, tracking best sports results. So congratulations to the See You Next tournament team from Blood Tithe who won best sports. I think that's something maybe as a community we should celebrate a lot. And it would be nice to know who the best sports were at events. It's going to be quite challenging to get that, so I'm going to try and set something up for Monday. Maybe we won't know much by Monday, but it's one of those things I would like to see. And also, every content creator who's listening, please, thanks for now talking about it on your show or tweeting it out or whatever it is you're about to do. Thanks. I like that now we're all talking about the 5-0 and the 4-1s. I've set that up. We're already doing that as a community. Thanks everyone for listening. Appreciate it. Now I want to start talking about best sports. So start tweeting them out, putting those pictures up for me as well. That will save me a bunch of time. So get on it. Thanks community. Not a question, but I want to say the pod streams really helped me through a tough mental period. So thanks for your work content. So Suicide Badger, I hope you're okay. And loads of love. And if you ever do need to talk to someone, you should talk to someone. Like, there's loads of us who would love to talk to you. Colonel Cabbage, I think if safe stacking the amulet were just in Sons of Behemoth would fall in line. Interesting. So Liam, you asked faction. Rob, what faction do you think had the best win percentage of Blood Tithe? Liam, I honestly can't say because I obviously was only covering the 4 rounds I was doing and also doing all the tech stuff for the 40k stream. So I don't think I kept a good enough eye on it. Suicide Badger, thanks for subbing. Nurgle Matthew, thanks for gifting a gift subscription. Who do I had the best win rate? So Gargants were there the most. It's got to be Gargs, man. It's got to be Gargants, right? Is it LRL? Who did really well? I'm going to bet it was Gargants, Lumineth, or Daughters of Cain. Was it Daughters of Cain and the Bow Snakes? I think they're countered by Gargants, really. I don't think they have enough output. I think they've got a lot. Beast of Chaos, for fuck's sake. There was one of you. It's an example of one, Liam. It's an example of one. Narrative events are harder to put together than regular events. Knigget, I super agree. Super late to the show. Was there any Legion of the First Prince chat today? Jarkort or then is not, but it might be one of the things that I do over the weekend. Okay, all right, listen, it's been lovely talking to you all. Thanks for hanging out today. We are live tonight with the 40k Stat Center. Not 40k Stat Center. I'm still a mess from the weekend. The 40k Spy Center with Tom. And we'll be talking about what happened at the weekend, which will be an interesting thing. Can you explain what best sports means? Is it a reference to sportsmanship? If yes, is it scored similarly around the world? Arcane Ring, that is a great question. Best sports are different depending on which pack you have. Some people just vote for your favourite game, and it's whoever was your favourite player, basically. That's what you do. So like, oh, that was my favourite person. Whoever collects the most is the best sports. And then sometimes there's a secondary, like, you're the best sports, but you placed the highest, meaning you beat the most people, but they still thought you were a good laugh. That's normally how it's done. Some people don't do that. Some people do like a first, second, third, where they're like, who's your favorite, who's your second favorite, who's your third favorite game, and then they kind of collate that together in a much more democratic way of voting, just as an aside. So first, second, third. So some people do that at events, which is also a really nice way to play it. It's not really like you should be sporting anyway. You should have good conduct and etiquette at the tabletop. You should be a sporting person. But this is really maybe people who go above and beyond. People who are nice. Some guy on a podcast who you met tends to be the general way it goes. Andy won best pointed. I'm over the moon for him, as I know the blood, sweat and tears he went into the army. Oh, lovely. When there's a type of sports, do you award the player with the lower or higher score? The player with the higher score, in my opinion. We do a lot of events where you have to score your opponent out of X, say 5. Oh, so like 1 to 5. Interesting. I don't think there is a universal constant, and it's something I'd like to set up. I think, like, if the Honest Wargamer is going to support anything, I think I'd like to set up a rankings for best sports. And then I would like to do a best sports masters. And there it is. I've made the statement. That's what I'm going to do. And that's if only I had a place to do it. Oh, shit, I have it right here. And just having the best sports masters would be really fun. Izzy got runner-up best painted issues over the moon. I'm super happy for Idiot Wind. Winning best sports at Hammer Time is definitely one of my highlights. Yeah, best sports is the best. It's the best try. It's the best trophy. And it also, if we as a community are encouraging, if we're talking about it, if there's some sort of thing dedicated to it, then that's something I can do to make sportsmanship an important part of Age of Sigmar, which would be good. Great Guy Masters. It's the Great Guy Masters. Exactly, Agilai. Invitational, the best players to play with. Imagine how fun that event will be. Rob will have the first squire for that at War at the Heartlands. So I'll be doing coverage at Bobo in 2 weeks and War in the Heartlands in 3 weeks, which is an event run by Liam and Mark Wildman. Bobo is obviously run by John and Johnny. Both events are going to be run by gentlemen, so we hope it's going to they'll be great. So looking forward to that. Like a golden demon for sportsmanship. Yeah. Tell me that wouldn't be an amazing event. Tell me that wouldn't be a great event. It would be good. Right, you're all brilliant. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Now, Monday, this should be far more professional. Maybe Owen will be back. We're going to have the actual stats, Ziggy, and the stats team are going to put that together, so that's going to be cool. Thanks for tuning in today. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you later tonight if you join us live, or I'll see you tomorrow. And it's been really cool talking to you all. See you soon.